as we creep through the den of the wild Tyler Yochum to find scattered bodies. We must be careful not to be spotted. We must move. Quiet. I think we've been spotted!
Garfield. A classic, in my opinion. But today, we're not here to discuss the fat cat. Today, we're here to discuss the hole in my family portrait. Let's do it! You know, when I was a kid, my dad gave me this. And at the time, I didn't know that he wasn't actually my dad. Man, am I glad he's not actually my dad, huh? My life can be summarized into about 3 story arcs right now. The first is the arc of Dave. This man is Dave Yochum. I hate him with every fiber of my being. So, you're probably wondering what this all actually has to do with me and who I am. Well, I learned a lot from my dad. My dad was my idol when I was a younger boy. And to this day, I still carry a lot of the things that he taught me. One of the major things that I learned from my dad was actually how to manipulate people. But I've learned over the years how to change that statement. It's not so much manipulating people as realizing how people feel. So I'm really good at understanding emotions in that sense. And I learned that from my father, Dave. Something that I used to do with my dad when I was a kid, because he refused to ever play catch with me, is that we would play games together, because that's the only common interest that we had, other than porn and my mother. One of my favorite games to play with my dad was Halo, and that's why it is one of my favorite games to play today. But I used to throw myself into video games because that's all that I could really do to hide from the pain that was caused time and time again by my father, and the abandonment that I felt from my mother because I wasn't religious and she was. So, over time, this became an issue because I threw myself into games so much that I was antisocial and couldn't talk to people. And I knew that they didn't like me because I can read emotions really well, so there was like a really big conflict of interest there. Like, do I want people to care about me or do I want them to leave me alone? Fun part is, I still don't know. So, that's when I joined theater. Right after my parents divorced and I got into my freshman and sophomore year of high school, I joined the SSHS Theater. My experience in high school shaped a lot of who I am today. By joining the Spanish Springs Theater, I became a more outgoing person. I was more okay being around people that I didn't necessarily know and still being friends with them. However, my high school experience also shaped my views of people. But in high school, I made a lot of life decisions. Like in my sophomore year, when we were doing the musical The Addams Family, that's when I finally cut my dad out of my life. See, there was an event that happened on July 4th of 2013 that changed a lot of my view of my dad. It was a warm summer evening. A long wind was blowing. There was a carnival. This is a real story too. There was a carnival down at the park by my dad's house, and I was with him for that weekend. We went down to the carnival, and I left ahead of the group with my stepsisters, Amanda and Akella. See, Akella was younger than me, so I thought that I would be fine going with them. I didn't see any issue in it, but my dad had other ideas. See, he yelled at me. He called me irresponsible and stupid for running off and doing things that I didn't ask previously to do. I, being 14, disagreed, and threw a temper tantrum like a 5-year-old girl, because that's just how I deal with issues, I guess. Oh dear God, how wrong I was. See, this was the irresponsible thing to do. As I was slamming my scooter into the grass, waiting for the fireworks to go off, my father was slowly getting more and more irritated with me. Something that happened a lot. Except today was different. God knows why, but today was different. He picked me up by my arm, rather roughly, that's how I like it, and then he threw me ahead of him and told me to walk home. The only 2 words that he said to me the entire time. But he walked, and every time that I slowed down, he would push me and I would have to go faster. When we got to the house, he unlocked the door, opened it, tossed me in, and then slammed the door behind him, locked it again, and began screaming at the top of his lungs, "How dare you? How dare you do this to me and my family? How dare you ruin my evening with my family? Dear God." Many other explicitives were said, but won't be stated here. Now, as I was crying in my bed that he threw me in and told me to shut up and go to bed in, I heard him slamming doors and running around in the kitchen throwing things. So yeah, that's why I don't really like my dad anymore. You know, just everyday stuff. But on that day, I decided to cut him out of my life. Coming back to Adam's family, I told him not to come, and so I haven't seen my dad since that day. Now, we've arrived at the Jared arc. In the Jared arc, I learned how not to care. Something that I think everybody should learn because it's very important. The Jared arc kind of overlaps with the Dave arc in the fact that I met Jared before I stopped hanging out with Dave. But Jared formed me to be a very tough person and to take hits like a man. You know, buff, big arms. Jared has taught me a lot. He's been my favorite dad so far, mainly because he was actually there for most of the time. He taught me how to be tough and how to take care of myself and others around me. How to actually appreciate my family and the people that I was with. Jared is my favorite right now. However, there's another side of the story. A third side. Yeah, that's right. That's the dad I've been hinting at. His name is Dale Whitfield. I learned that Dale was my biological father when I was 9, but being around Dave, you can understand why I wouldn't want to show any interest in finding my real dad. Now that I am not around Dave, and also older and not a vagina, I have decided to email him and talk to him. But I am actually going to meet Dale Whitfield later on in the summer. When we go to graduation, he's going to come a week earlier, and I'm actually going to meet him. But that's about it. The reason I am the way I am is because of Dad. Hello folks, I'm your host, Killer Meme Star. Today we're doing an interview about me with my good friend Asa here. Now, Asa, in your experience, how would you say I have been changed over the years that you've known me?
Okay, so starting off, when I first met you, we were both very kind of that nerdy type of kids in our math class. And when I dragged you into theater with me, you kind of progressed into more of an extroverted type of guy. And then the maturity hit, and then that's where a lot of everything spiraled down. There was a certain trip that you and I went on that kind of changed things between us a lot. Like a lot. And...
Trip 2K15. I need t-shirts for that. That was great.
But since progressively since I've met you, you've grown, you've matured more in a sense of realizing your purpose, in a sense. Like not needing to care about certain things, or not getting too emotionally attached to things.
How would you say I have most dramatically surprised you in any way? Like any certain events that stick out in your mind that aren't Tahoe trip that surprised you about me?
So an event that stuck out that surprised me about you, that where I kind of learned about you, was just now.
Oh.
When we did your interview, or not your interview, but your story, the 3 dad arcs. None of that I actually knew.
Oh, you never knew about the internal struggle that I face every day when I wake up?
No, I knew that, but I didn't know about the whole 4th of July thing.
Oh yeah, no, that's my favorite memory of Dave.
And I didn't know anything about that, so I'm kind of, I'm on that like very dark cloud 9 where I'm like very confused about what just happened. but I've learned that you're just really hurt.
All the time.
And I'm here for you, buddy.
All right, so after hearing the loving surprise that was my tale of woe and misery, what do you think is the one character flaw that I could improve on most? And be honest, my feelers.
It's the one. Okay, so the one thing that you need to improve on is your sense of not caring, which is good. But there is people that you just cut out, and this is not anyone specific.
Yeah, no, I've
It's
done
not
it
anyone
to a
specific.
lot
It's
of
been
people.
to a lot of
So,
It's the sense of not caring about things, about yourself, about the way people, not caring about the way people view you negatively is a good thing, but not caring about what people think of you in a positive way is not a good thing. And then shutting people out of your life entirely, which you have recently been fixing, is good.
at Dave.
And it's opening yourself up. You don't entirely open yourself up to other people, which is understandable, but I feel like if you did, it would be a lot healthier for you. Tyler, you okay? Are you okay?
Curly fries! Oh, pizza. It's 8:07. Okay. Slow it down and play. It's not time to make a change. Just relax, take it easy. You're still young, that's your fault. There's so much